That's one thing that's on people's minds up here.
Well, and also, if you look just a few miles west of you, in that absolute no, I cannot say on the air that it's
Sure you can.
It's the armpit of Connecticut, Bristol, Connecticut. But in that area, obviously, the ESPN has created a brand new television network, and where is it based? Not in Bristol, but in Charlotte, North Carolina. And more, what you're going to see, even though ESPN has invested gazillions of dollars in Bristol, you're going to see some farming out. I mean, they already, what we kind of created in Los Angeles for them is now a reality across the street from Staples Center. So they now have a full broadcast network operation out of Los Angeles. Now they'll have yet another one in Charlotte. And don't be too surprised if they go somewhere else, whether it's Tampa or whether it's maybe in Miami. I mean, it's a reality, and Charles hit it on the head. It's yeah, or even Mike, you may even get one in Las Vegas. The state taxes. I mean, it's businesses are looking ahead. They have to. It's kind of interesting. And let's talk manufacturing here, because we have a local individual who is with us in studio, Scott Tudor. And Scott, welcome to the Money Info Show with Mike, Charles, and a cast of characters here. Get a little bit closer to the mic and tell us about your company, Waters Technologies. It's Great Water Inc., based right here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, now, how long have you been in business?
We've been in business 8 years.
You have a Northeast accent.
I'm from outside of Philadelphia.
Wow, okay. See, we're hitting it on the head here, guys. Well, tell us a little bit about your company. I've been looking at the technical aspect of it and some of the overviews, and of course, Charles will ask you about the stock and stuff later. But tell us about your company.
Well, our company is based in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Our manufacturing is done in Stewart, Florida. We have a contracted manufacturer there, Ocean Breeze, that does all our manufacturing of our machines. We've been in business 8 years. We took the company public. We're a pink sheet company, Water Technologies International, Inc. It's WTII. And we're coming along. Last year we actually went to market with our product. We took about 7 years to build our patents, our trademarks, our testing of the machines. We have machines that make water from 7 gallons a day to 3,000 gallons a day. Our machines it's basically a dehumidifier on steroids. Was how an easy way to call it. It's called
that's great.
It's called an atmospheric water generator. We take the humidity in the air and pull it out and condensate it, and we run it through filters, UV, ozonation, and when it comes out to the consumer or the end user, it's 99.9% pure drinking water.
So really, your equipment, just looking, say, at the United States, could be used like where the gang is up in the Northeast, especially Midwest, South.
Yeah, our small units are 7 gallon a day. Looks much like a conventional water cooler. Needs no outside source for water. It's based, and we designed it for a universal indoor climate. 55% humidity, 72 degrees, which most office environments are. So that machine can go all over the country. Our commercial models need at least 65, 70 degrees and about 60% humidity to start pulling water out. After that, they start getting too cold and their humidity starts going away.
So a normal, say, television operation that might have its studios, we used to have ours at Fox at 68. Is that a little too cold for that?
68 is still fine, depending, as long as we have, usually if you're using at 68, you probably have a number of people there. So you have more people, you get, the humidity is probably higher than 55.
Okay.
So anything under 55 degrees, 60 degrees, then the temperature between the...
The imagination is a powerful thing. My 2-in-1.
You're out of business in Las Vegas, Mike. But for the rest of us, I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. Well, tell us about your foreign countries that are now getting involved with you.
Well, we're have a lot of interest, and I've just got back from China. So China is very interested in our machines for China. They have 1.5 billion people there, and the water supply that they have there, a lot of it is contaminated from all the stuff they have put in the ground. The heavy metals are starting to cause problems medically. So China is very interested. We've been dealing with them for over a year. We have some units going to South Africa. We've gone to Guam, Mexico. So there's a lot of people around the world are now looking for alternative sources to water because a lot of the water they have is contaminated or they just don't have it.
Boy, see, Mike, where you could get Scott into Singapore and Thailand, right?
Sure. And how about Taiwan? They have definite problems there. They've had all kinds of contamination problems in water in Taiwan. That's a definite possibility.
I've never even heard that before.
What does the commercial unit produce? I'm sorry if I missed it.
Well, our commercial line runs from producing 10 gallons all the way up to 3,000 gallons a day.
Wow, that's amazing. Well,
what's the cost?
Yeah, the cost goes basically upon. You mean the cost of the water or the cost of the machines?
Well, both.
Well, the cost of machines run anywhere from $2,700 all the way up to $300,000. They're all built with stainless steel, polished aluminum, built in the U.S. The cost for a gallon of water from, just say, a 7-gallon unit that would go into a home would range, depending on energy cost in your area. Florida, it's about 9 cents a kilowatt. We're talking about 30 cents a gallon.
Wow, that's dirt cheap. That's phenomenal. I mean, that's great. Well, now, okay, so who is your target audience, if you will? I mean, are you selling to like hospitals and other large corporations?
Well, right now our target market is in China, it's disaster relief. In Africa, it's for the governments that need to provide water for their people.
Sure.
The water they're getting in Africa most of the time is full of arsenic. The kids are dying early. Their medical problems are very high. The people in the Caribbean is just a lack of water down there.
Yes. Yeah.
Except for the rainwater. But China is one of the biggest ones, and they're looking for a number of different ways to use our product as far as using it in hospitals, all the disaster reliefs. You figure if a hurricane, tornadoes, or something come by,
oh, sure.
Usually the weather is good for us to make water at that point in time. And the first thing that people go for, especially here being in Florida, if they say a hurricane's coming, everybody's going to buy all the water in every 6 counties around.
Sure.
So one of these with a small generator for hurricane come, you would be able to still produce water and have it for cooking and drinking, and wouldn't have the problem of having to go out and then also dispose of all the PET bottles that are accumulated through these.
This is amazing. And well, now you've been in business 8 years. when did you actually start marketing your product around the world?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
We came out of the gate the third quarter of last year. We did a little under $500,000 in Mexico on some machines. This year, our machines and our sales take a long period of time because not many people know about an atmospheric water generator. When I tell people I make water from air, they look at me like I have 3 heads. So
actually, when my kid told me about you, I said, "What?"
So it's a learning process, and and when we're dealing with it, it's a long process to where they usually buy a smaller machine, test it in their environment, make sure that it does do what it says it does, and then we go from there.
Boy, that's phenomenal. So
and you talked about patents. Talk about the patents that you have.
We have patents now pending in the United States. Our attorney feels there'll be anywhere from 5 to 7 patents. They should be in effect probably. We're looking, hopefully, if they move, relatively smooth here, within the next year they'll be all approved. We have patents now approved in China, South Africa. We have some patents that are going to be issued in Mexico, Asia, Brazil within the next 8 months.
Wow,
that's expensive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah. Leave it to Mike. Yeah, he knows that whole thing. Well, tell us about when did you come up with this concept?
It's not truly my concept. It's been around for a while. I got involved in selling them years ago, and the product we were selling was a product out of Korea that didn't work very well. My background is in building things, an automotive background and similar other restaurants and stuff like that. So I could take things apart and build. It wasn't working. I figured I could make it work, and that's what we just started doing and tinkering around here with different stuff, and wound up with a product that was making water and making it at a good rate.
So you built the better mousetrap.
We did, and we had a lot of help from our manufacturer in Stewart. He was very great. He's probably one of the best engineers I've ever met in my life, Joseph Baruch. So he
heard that name. Yeah.
Joe is, when I brought the project to him, he was very excited about it, because it was something new and different. And Joe does nothing but specialized products at Ocean Breeze. He's a marine air conditioning business, but they build a lot of stuff for Boeing, the Navy, specialized stuff. Only, he doesn't do cookie cutter or, production line type thing. So it was a good fit for us. We worked together and came up with the better mousetrap.
Okay, could the small unit be used on boats?
Yes, we have
okay.
Actually we have a different unit for the boats that hooks right into their existing air conditioning unit, which then we put it through our patented filter system, and then the water comes out clean. There's no salt in it or anything like that.
Have you gotten any bites from, say, the cruise industry here, specifically Carnival and?
We're working with a group now that's actually not the cruise industry, but they're building an island or doing an island off of Haiti, and the cruise industries come in there and they have to redo the water supply, and they don't have it down there, so they're looking to build their own water supply on their island down there with our machines to be able to go do it. And we're also in negotiations with a couple different boating companies.
Boy, that sounds absolutely amazing. Well, Charles, do you have stock questions for him at all?
Not yet.
Sure.
I live in a small town
Mm-hmm.
in the Northeast, and I need a dehumidifier in my basement.
Right.
And the water in the town sucks.
Right.
It's just got too much, let's just call it particulates. The water just, no, I don't know anybody who actually drinks the water. Now, if I use the unit in my basement, and we're talking about 7 gallons, and I do whatever I decide to do with the water afterwards. If I have a mold problem, even if I don't know about it, is that one of the things that will also become filtered out of the water?
Oh, yes, absolutely. What it will do, if you put one of our machines down into the basement, it would be taking all the humidity out, which would cure the mold problem to begin with. What we do is when the air goes through our coils, it's run past a UV light. When it's condensated, it drops into a tank, either stainless steel or a food grade plastic, and in that tank it's ozonated, which the ozonation kills any viruses, germs, mold, you name it, it kills it. And it's circulated in the tank, and also we pump ozonation into it so many parts per million at certain intervals throughout the day. And when you hit the dispenser to get the water, it goes through another UV tube, which when it comes out, it's 99.9% pure drinking water, almost like a distilled water. There's no heavy metals, there's no TDSs, which is total dissolved solids in the water, no fluorides, no chemicals of any sort.
Interesting.
And this is all regular 110
Yes.
setup for your house?
Absolutely.
And it's actually kind of funny what the situation here is, because when it's the coldest out during the winter, that's when the basement is the warmest.
But that's probably because you're down into the ground,
right,
and
because my oil burning furnace
Okay.
is on, a lot more. I mean, during the summer, it may be a little warm, but it actually feels a little on the cool side down there versus the outside. But during the winter, I mean, it's just, I use a dehumidifier because I need one down there. But it's exactly the opposite of what I would think, oh, well, it's the winter, and, it's drier, and it's colder, and not in the basement.
Yeah, certain areas is different. Like I said, I come from outside of Philadelphia, Valley Forge area, and it was the same way. Our basements were the same conditions. These home and office units, the 7-gallon ones, we also have a lease plan in place for where you can lease the machines for depending on credit scores and things like that, is anywhere from about $50 to $60 a month for the machine.
Wow. And of course, obviously, you're not paying for water either. I mean,
No.
that's oh, wow. I think that's phenomenal. And
We use Poland Springs water, in a cooler and everything. I don't even know what the 5-gallon bottles actually cost.
They're usually around $7 to $9, depending on the area and what kind of deal you have with them for their cooler. One of the things with that, how our machine helps with it, you don't have to lift the heavy cooler and put it on. And if you're in an office building, there's not a woman in that building that's going to lift that cooler on top of that water cooler. The tray itself.
And of course, how do you clean yours out, or does it need to be cleaned?
It doesn't need to be cleaned at all. With the ozonation that kills it, there's no bacteria, there's no any type of an algae can form in it. Just can't grow in it.
So now, how many investors do you have in this?
2 million cappuccinos. Let's show them what a breakfast.
Seven a.m. Steve is
It's almost debt free. We're not. We don't have a lot of debt, which that would hurt the company.
That's phenomenal, though. And you are on the pink sheet.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the stock symbol again?
WTII.
And the website. And the website address.
It's GR8 Water. It's spelled Great Water, or is sound.
I love that.
So it's GR8water.net is the website. It has all the products on it. You could go to the product tab underneath it. It'll come up slick sheets, and it gives all the products that we have, commercial and residential, and gives all the particulars about it and pictures of all the machines.
Now, I would think that, say, a hospital group looking at, specifically here, like an HCA or like a tenant down in the Palm Beaches, would really look at this and say, hey, wait a minute, this is intriguing.
Yeah, and that's, we try to reach out to all the groups that we have that feel is like low-hanging fruit, and they're ones that should have, they have a backup generator for when the power goes off. They should have a backup water supply as well. Our commercial lines can also be fitted and built and designed, since we do it all custom, with air conditioning. So we can supply air conditioning, dehumidification, and water all in the same machine.
Now, have you ever done this, installed one of these at like a hotel or something like that?
No, none of the hotels. The hotel industry looks at it. We're actually working with a couple small boutique hotels in Mexico that are looking at it because the Mexican water is so bad.
Oh, yeah.
But the larger groups want to sell bottled water. They make their money and their revenues in bottled water.
Well, sure, naturally.
So they don't want to give somebody water that's not going to make them any money on it. So that's a tough place to do it. But people we would thought that by now we would have been in with FINRA, or not FINRA, FEMA.
FEMA, yeah.
Which the disaster where all the hurricanes and tornadoes that have been popping up around the country, lately is a perfect fit for us, because the first thing they need is water.
Yeah, and of course the tornado areas all happen to be where there is a lot of humidity, and that's either Midwest or Southeast. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually,
let's go back a step. How much stock did you say was outstanding?
I'd have to look. I'm not 100% sure that's outstanding. We're at $2 million cap, I believe, because we just changed it. To be honest with you, that's not my end of the.
Yeah, because I'm showing that the average daily volume is 245,000 a day.
Right, right. We have the new issuance went out. We did that, I believe, 2 months ago, and we raised everything up to higher levels on it, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what is out there at this point.
So in order to have a market cap of that, there'd have to be about 75 million.
It's probably close to that, yes.
Mike, any questions?
Can you put like a filter system, like for example, people buy the Kangen water system from Japan to get alkaline water. It costs $5,000 to get that system in. We have a system like that in our home. Alkaline water is very healthy. You could probably put an alkaline system in your units because it's just a filter system.
Right, and what we do, and we do already have that in. We just changed. We have 3 different filters in our commercial line. Our residential line has 2. It's a carbon black filter to take out some of the taste. We don't need any sediment filters because there is no sediment from the water coming from the air instead of pulling it up from the ground. And our second filter, we add some calcite to it to increase the pH to where we're now about 8.5, 8.7 in the pH, and we can bring it up or down depending on the filter we put on it.
Well, this is a real opportunity because the Kangen system goes for like $5,000 a crack. So you could certainly compete with that in your 7-gallon. How much is your 7-gallon system?
$27.50.
Wow, that's really reasonable.
And you change
So
the
if you put-
filters twice a year, and they're about, for the pack, you're looking at $45.
That's it.
What would it cost to get alkaline water into your 7-gallon unit?
It's already there. Our second filter, we have it half mixture in a custom filter that we have designed specially for us, and the alkaline goes up
See,
to...
it's very easy to test water. If you go to the bottle of water and take it off the shelf, in Whole Foods, for example, the water is barely blue. If you go to our water, it's dark blue. It's a beautiful dark blue. That shows it's alkaline.
Right.
The water on the shelf, most of the water, there's only one water maker that makes alkaline water. The rest of the water, when you buy it on the shelf, it's horrible.
Well, it's city water, and all they're doing
Acidic.
is bringing in city water and filtering it out and cleaning it up to where, and taking all the TDSs out and giving you back what you're getting out of the tap, just in a prettier bottle.
What kind of competition, Scott?
We're probably one of the only companies that I know of that has a total line of manufacturing that we do ourselves, from small machines all the way up to our 160-ton of refrigeration machine that does 3,000 gallons. There's a couple of places one in Israel. They only do, I think, 2 machines, and I'm not sure that they do their own manufacturing or not. So we do have competition for the residential units. Most companies out there are marketing companies that will buy these small machines from a couple different manufacturers, either in Korea or in China. A lot of them have problems. Quality control down there is not as good, and so for competition, there's not many people out there doing what we're doing right now.
How about desalinization? Is that an issue? I mean, when you're talking about doing something on a boat, essentially you're taking in salt water.
Right. Well, desal is, we're almost like apples and oranges compared to our machine. We're taking it from the air, and we're limited to how much we can do per day. Desal, you're getting, whatever size machine you want to do, up to 50,000 gallons, 5,000 gallons, 1,000 gallons a day, 100 gallons a day. You're just running it through filters, different membranes to take different things out. Some membranes take, everything out, but most desal water doesn't taste very well. You're not taking all the salt out of it. In larger instances where you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of gallons, if not millions of gallons a day, like in the Middle East, you have a lot of byproducts left over, the salt, and and the cost is very, very high to do all that.
So if you look at your bottled water assortment that you can buy in a store, only the Arrowhead, made by the Nestle family, has alkaline. The rest are acidic. And if you take a tester and put it in the most expensive waters, it won't be as good as the Arrowhead that's a lot cheaper. The Nestle family does have a secret for making it alkaline.
Yeah, but this is even better. You just get it right out of the air rather than off the shelf. I think you're onto something here.
It might be alkaline.
Yeah, there you go. Now, what do you do? How are you marketing this around the world?
Right now, most of it comes out of the website. We're now starting to build. Hopefully, by the end of the year, we're going to have some sales that we've been working on for 8 months coming in. Then we'll be able to. We do it through distributors. We're getting. I'm just working on a contract now with a very large distributor in South Africa.
Okay.
That will come on board. So most of it's through distributors. People see it on our website. We probably average 10 inquiries a day about becoming distributors worldwide. We're getting a lot more from the United States now, mainly from Texas and California, where the problems are.
Well, yeah, you might be able to work in some areas of Southern California.
Right.
Where, in the city areas especially.
And Texas is another one where they're having a lot of problems with the water. I just read an article this morning on MSN where they were saying about the fracking, that it's destroying all the groundwater in Texas, Pennsylvania, anywhere where there's natural gases that they're drilling for and fracking for now. So that's what they're running into in Texas, and just the droughts.
And obviously you're totally environmentally friendly because you're taking it out of the air.
Yeah, we're a green product.
Yeah, you are the ultimate green product. I'll tell you, I think you're onto something. See, you need Mike and Charles to help you market it here in the U.S. and Canada. And, well, actually, in Mike's case, in Taiwan and Thailand and Singapore as well.
Philippines.
Yeah, in the Philippines, yeah.
Yeah, everybody needs this product.
Oh, this is amazing. You're onto something. Wow. So now, you know, we ask all of our guests, what are your goals for the next couple of years with for your company?
Well, our goals are to steadily increase our revenues, number one, and try to have more and more people educated about our product to where that will help us get the revenue stream flowing. Also build a sales force, a bigger distributor market. With the revenues, we can start, you know, producing a lot more machines that we can distribute throughout the world to where people can actually come see it, taste it, feel it, and really realize how good of a product this is. Right now, we just depend on the websites, or people will actually fly in. We had people from Mexico 2 weeks ago, from Bahrain 2 weeks ago. He's flown in twice to visit the machines and visit our plant to see the machines. So people normally come that are very interested will come to the factory. We can hopefully, with the raise of some more money, be able to get stuff out there in different areas where we're looking at that really need the water and have the money to buy it.
How much can you get out now? I mean, how much are you actually selling now?
Well, right now, this year we've only sold smaller machines. You know, just mostly test and demo machines to distributors and actually governments that are testing these machines now. Out to where we hope and feel that there'll be large orders coming in behind it. The one in China, we sent 2 machines over there, which were commercial machines. One did 40 gallons, the other one did 550 gallons, and they tested it. It's been there over 6 months, and they've taken it all over China, to both machines, to test it in different areas. They've tested the water in all different areas, and we've come back and we've passed all their tests, and we're expecting good things out of China very soon.
Wow, that's amazing.
In case I missed it, what is the cost, for example, of the machine that would go like in the studio?
$2,750, and you can lease it for about
financing or have a relationship with anyone?
The kids are asleep.
Look what I got.
Oh, my Fruit Loops.